There are moments in life when the world pauses, when the air shifts, heavy with something unspoken, something that catches your soul off guard. I felt it the other day, an unexpected gift, and in that instant, I realized I had never known a feeling like this. It wasn't something you can see or touch. It wasn't wrapped in gold or whispered in words. It came quietly, like the softest brush of a hand on your heart, leaving an imprint you can't erase. My chest tightened, my mind raced, and yet, a strange peace settled in me. I was awake in ways I hadn't been before. I realized that life often tries to prepare us for joy, but it forgets to warn us about the shock of it. The way a simple, unexpected moment can tear down walls we didn't even know we'd built. This feeling was an uninvited guest, yet I welcomed it with trembling hands. It stirred dreams I had buried, desires I had silenced, and longings I didn't dare speak aloud. And in that gift, I discovered something terrifying and beautiful. I am alive. Not merely existing, but alive in the secret corners of my own heart, where courage and vulnerability intertwine. I felt every emotion magnified. Hope whispered, fear trembled, love roared silently. I understood, suddenly, that a life truly lived is one that is open to the unexpected, the gifts that arrive when we are ready to let go of control and let the universe speak to us in its wild, mysterious way. That feeling, this inexplicable, intoxicating sensation, made me promise something to myself. I will never shy away from the gifts that life throws my way, no matter how sudden, no matter how disorienting. I will embrace them, surrender to them, and allow them to shape me, because it is only through the unexpected that we touch the rawest, most sacred parts of our souls. And now, every time I close my eyes, I chase that feeling again, the thrill, the awe, the trembling joy. And I know that I will never be the same, because life has whispered a secret to me, one that I will carry forever. The universe sometimes gives without reason, and the only choice we have is to receive. There are moments in life when everything shifts without warning, moments that arrive so quietly yet land so heavily that you feel them in every fiber of your being. They are unannounced, unexpected, and somehow completely unavoidable. They can come in the form of a glance from someone who suddenly sees you, or a word spoken that pierces straight through the layers you've built around your heart. They can appear as the soft brush of sunlight on a winter morning, a song that resonates with a memory you thought you had buried, or even a random act of kindness from a stranger that leaves you breathless. In these moments, the world seems to pause. Time itself holds its breath as if acknowledging the magnitude of what has arrived. You are no longer just moving through the motions of life. You are awake in a way that is both thrilling and terrifying. The power of these unexpected moments lies in their ability to shatter expectation. They remind you that life does not always unfold according to your carefully crafted plans. You may have imagined the path you would take, the feelings you would have, the milestones you would reach, but then life delivers something completely unanticipated, and suddenly, everything you thought you knew about yourself and the world shifts. You are caught off guard, and that surprise is where the magic hides. It is in the shock of the unknown, in the trembling uncertainty, that you are forced to pay attention, to feel, to be present in ways you rarely allow yourself. These moments often carry with them a raw, unfiltered truth that cannot be ignored. They illuminate parts of yourself you may have forgotten existed, desires, fears, passions, and vulnerabilities you had tucked away for safety. They force you to confront the depth of your own heart, to recognize that beneath the surface of everyday routine, there is a vast and wild landscape of emotion waiting to be explored. When they strike, you feel an intensity that is almost unbearable, a kind of electricity that courses through your veins and leaves you both exhilarated and exposed. There is a profound beauty in the fact that these experiences cannot be manufactured. You cannot summon them at will, nor can you anticipate when or how they will arrive. Their unpredictability is their gift. They arrive in the perfect moment, often when you least expect it, and in that arrival, they change everything. They remind you that life is not just a series of plans and achievements, but a collection of fleeting, miraculous encounters that demand your attention, your awareness, your full participation. You cannot ignore them, because they touch something deep inside, something primal and alive that has been waiting for this very moment to awaken. In their quiet, sudden way, these moments teach you that life is not meant to be measured only in what is visible or predictable. They show you that the unexpected carries the power to open your eyes, to shift your perspective, and to awaken a part of your soul that has been dormant, waiting for the perfect, unplanned moment to speak, and when it comes, it hits with a force you never anticipated, leaving you forever changed. Vulnerability is a strange thing. It is both terrifying and irresistible, a force that whispers to the deepest corners of your soul and dares you to step into the unknown. Most of us spend our lives building walls, carefully crafting masks, and rehearsing scripts to protect ourselves from pain, from judgment, from disappointment. But the moment you allow yourself to be vulnerable, everything changes. It is like stepping into a room lit only by a single candle, feeling its warmth on your skin while knowing the darkness still surrounds you. There is a thrill in the exposure, a tension in the openness, and yet within that tension lies the rawest form of life. True emotional depth cannot exist without vulnerability. You cannot touch the heights of joy if you have never risked heartbreak. You cannot feel love in its full intensity if you have not dared to let your guard down, even for a fleeting moment. Vulnerability is the doorway through which the most profound experiences enter. It is the key that unlocks hidden chambers of the heart, chambers where desire, passion, longing, and fear intertwine, creating a tapestry so intricate and alive that it cannot be ignored. When you let yourself be vulnerable, you begin to see the world with sharper clarity, noticing nuances, subtleties, and truths that are invisible to those who remain shielded behind walls of safety. There is a delicate courage required to be vulnerable, a courage that is often mistaken for weakness. But it is in the act of exposing your authentic self, in allowing the raw and unfiltered version of you to be seen, that you discover your strength. Each moment of openness is a rebellion against the fear that has dictated your choices, a declaration that your feelings matter, that your experiences are valid, and that you are willing to live without pretense. Vulnerability transforms ordinary moments into profound ones. A simple touch, a shared glance, a quiet conversation can ignite a fire in the soul when approached with openness, because it is no longer filtered through caution or restraint. It is real, unguarded, and undeniably alive. The gift of vulnerability is that it connects you to others in ways logic and reason never can. When you allow yourself to be seen, truly seen, you invite another person to do the same. Walls crumble, facades dissolve, and what emerges is an intimacy that cannot be manufactured. It is electric, fragile, and breathtaking. It reminds you that you are not alone in your fears, in your desires, or in your longings. There is a power in this connection that cannot be measured, a resonance that echoes through the chambers of the heart, leaving you changed, awakened, and more fully alive. Vulnerability also reveals the depth of your own self. It forces you to confront the truths you often ignore, to sit with the parts of yourself you may wish to hide, and to honor them anyway. In this confrontation, there is liberation. There is recognition that to truly live, to truly love, to truly feel, you must be willing to step into the open, even when it feels dangerous. Every time you choose to be vulnerable, you reaffirm your commitment to experience life in its fullest, rawest, and most beautiful form. There is a difference between existing and truly living, and it often comes disguised in subtle, almost imperceptible ways. Existing is moving through the motions, breathing in and out, following routines, checking boxes, and performing the acts of life without feeling their weight. Truly living, however, is a full body, full heart experience. It is the sudden awareness that every breath, every heartbeat, every fleeting second carries infinite possibility. It is a heightened perception of reality where every detail, every encounter, every sensation is amplified, as if the universe has opened a window straight into the raw core of your being and invited you to step through. This awakening does not announce itself. It sneaks in on quiet mornings when the air feels different, or strikes unexpectedly in a crowded room when someone's eyes meet yours and speak a language older than words. It arrives in moments so sharp and vivid that you are caught off guard, realizing that for years you may have been asleep, merely observing life from behind a glass wall, while the true experience of being alive has been waiting, patient and persistent, just beyond your reach. When it hits, it demands your attention. Suddenly, colors are brighter, sounds are richer, and emotions feel magnified, raw, and beautiful in ways you cannot contain. Truly living is not always comfortable. It shakes the foundation of your routines, challenges your assumptions, and forces you to confront the truth of your own existence. You notice the fragility of time, the impermanence of moments, and the fleeting nature of joy and sorrow. And yet, within that awareness lies a liberation so profound that it reshapes the way you move through the world. Each moment becomes sacred, each interaction meaningful, and each choice laden with weight and possibility. You feel deeply because you are awake to the depth of life itself, and that depth can be both exhilarating and terrifying. To be fully alive is to embrace the intensity of experience without flinching. It is to allow yourself to be consumed by the highs and lows, to let hope and fear, love and loss, joy and grief mingle freely in your consciousness. It is an intimacy with existence that cannot be taught, only felt. And in that intimacy, you discover that life is not merely a sequence of days, but a series of invitations, opportunities to feel, to connect, to create, to risk, and to surrender. It is the difference between gliding through life with your eyes closed and stepping into it with open arms, wide eyes, and a trembling heart. Truly living requires attention, presence, and courage. It asks you to notice the subtleties you once overlooked, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the rhythm of someone's laughter, the unspoken longing in a stranger's gaze. It awakens desires you may have ignored and stirs a hunger for experiences you never knew you craved. In this state, life is no longer a background hum. It is a vivid symphony, intricate and overwhelming, demanding that you participate fully, unapologetically, and without reservation. There is a strange freedom in letting go of control, a liberation that feels like stepping off the edge of a cliff and discovering that the fall itself carries you upward. Life often tempts us with the illusion that we can manage everything, that every outcome can be predicted, measured, and contained. We cling to schedules, plans, and expectations as if they are shields against chaos, as if holding tightly will protect us from the unknown. Yet, the most profound experiences, the ones that shake us awake, the ones that awaken the deepest parts of our souls, arrive precisely when we release that illusion. They come in forms we cannot anticipate, at times we cannot plan, and through channels we would never have chosen. And when they arrive, the only way to truly receive them is to surrender. Embracing uncertainty is not an act of weakness, it is the ultimate form of courage. It requires us to step into the unknown with open hands and an open heart, to trust that the universe has a rhythm far beyond our comprehension. In this surrender, we discover that the unexpected is not something to fear, but a doorway to the extraordinary. Every time we attempt to control life completely, we risk missing the brilliance hidden in its spontaneity. The most transformative moments are never scheduled. They are not the product of planning or calculation. They are gifts delivered when we least expect them, often disguised as disruptions, challenges, or sudden flashes of insight that demand our attention. When we release our grip, we begin to notice the subtle signals that life has been sending all along. Patterns emerge, not because we have forced them, but because we are paying attention, awake, and receptive. We see opportunities that would have gone unnoticed, connections that would have been ignored, and emotions that would have remained buried. The act of letting go transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. A fleeting glance, a random encounter, or a moment of silence can become a revelation, a mirror reflecting truths we could not have accessed while clinging to certainty. There is also a profound intimacy in surrendering to uncertainty. It strips away pretense, revealing the raw, unfiltered essence of ourselves. We begin to understand that life's greatest gifts are rarely earned through effort alone. They arrive when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, receptive, and present. By letting go, we create space for experiences that are richer, deeper, and more authentic than anything we could have orchestrated. The universe speaks in whispers and echoes, in moments that seem small but carry infinite weight, and it asks only that we be willing to listen, to trust, and to accept. To embrace uncertainty is to live with a heightened awareness, to walk through life with senses sharpened, and to allow ourselves to be fully touched by the unexpected. It is a practice of faith in the invisible, a devotion to the unseen forces that shape our existence, and a recognition that control is an illusion. In letting go, we discover a power far greater than our own, a power that moves, shapes, and delivers the moments that leave us breathless, alive, and profoundly transformed. There is a force within the unexpected that awakens the hidden parts of ourselves, a stirring so deep that it cannot be ignored. Life often conceals its most precious revelations behind ordinary moments, waiting for a spark, a twist, or a shift to ignite them. When the unexpected strikes, it shakes the foundations of our carefully constructed world, revealing desires and longings we had buried beneath layers of routine, fear, and doubt. It forces us to confront the truths we have avoided, the dreams we have silenced, and the passions we have whispered only in secret. In that instant, there is a recognition that something essential within us has been dormant, waiting for this precise moment to awaken, to roar, to demand attention. These moments illuminate what we are capable of feeling, of yearning, of becoming. A simple glance, a fleeting word, or a subtle touch can unlock a reservoir of emotion so intense that it threatens to overwhelm. It reminds us that life is not just a sequence of events to endure, but a canvas on which our deepest emotions are painted with extraordinary detail. Our fears, our joys, our loves, and our regrets all converge, magnified, raw, and alive. The unexpected does not merely pass through us, it transforms us, stirring the long, forgotten corners of our hearts and breathing life into dreams that had been reduced to faint echoes. There is a strange beauty in this upheaval, in the way the unexpected exposes the inner landscape of our soul. It confronts us with our vulnerabilities, yet it also gifts us with clarity. We see the things we truly desire, not the things we think we should want, and we recognize the boundaries we have imposed on ourselves, often unknowingly. Every sudden encounter, every unplanned revelation, becomes a mirror reflecting both our potential and our limitations, daring us to step beyond what is comfortable into what is possible. The transformative power of the unexpected lies in its ability to make the invisible visible. It illuminates emotions we have denied, urges we have suppressed, and longings we have ignored. It reminds us that the richness of life is found not in certainty, but in the surprises, the jolts, the moments that make us pause and feel deeply. It forces us to reckon with our own capacity to dream, to hope, and to pursue what is truly meaningful, even when it terrifies us. And in that reckoning, there is a liberation that cannot be overstated. By embracing the stirrings that the unexpected awakens, we allow ourselves to feel more fully, to connect more deeply, and to live more courageously. We no longer hide from the impulses that call to us, nor do we dismiss the intensity of our emotions. Instead, we honor them, recognizing that in these moments lies the raw, unfiltered essence of life. To be transformed by the unexpected is to be reminded, in the most visceral way, that our inner world is vast, uncharted, and brimming with possibilities we may never have dared to imagine. To receive life fully is to stand in the middle of uncertainty and open your arms without hesitation, to let the currents of existence sweep through you without resistance. Most of us spend years building shields, crafting routines, and rehearsing defenses, thinking that protection equals survival. But survival alone is not enough to awaken the soul, to taste the depth of what it means to truly live. The unexpected teaches us that the universe offers its gifts without warning, without negotiation, and the only choice we have is whether to accept them or retreat into the safety of our own fears. When we choose to receive fully, we invite life to pour itself into the raw, unguarded spaces of our hearts, transforming ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences that leave us trembling, breathless, and alive. Receiving life is not passive. It is a conscious, deliberate act of courage. It demands that we lay down our insistence on control, our attachment to certainty, and our obsession with predictability. It asks us to meet the unknown with a trembling but willing heart, to trust that the universe's timing is perfect, even when it defies logic, expectation, or planning. To receive fully is to say yes to life in its purest, wildest form, to acknowledge that every encounter, every surprise, every sudden shift carries the potential to teach, to awaken, and to transform us in ways we could never have imagined. It is the willingness to be molded by experiences that arrive unbidden, to let them carve their mark upon us and leave us forever altered. There is an intimacy in receiving that cannot be replicated through force or effort. It is a surrender that is alive with anticipation, an openness that allows us to feel the depth of our own existence and the resonance of everything around us. When we truly accept what comes, joy, sorrow, love, challenge, or triumph, we step into alignment with life itself. Every sensation becomes more vivid, every connection more profound, and every moment more charged with meaning. We no longer merely witness life, we participate in its unfolding with a heart wide open, aware that even fleeting experiences have the power to leave lasting imprints on the soul. Receiving fully also means honoring our own capacity to embrace life's gifts, no matter how disorienting or intense they may be. It is an acknowledgement that we are worthy of the beauty, the awe, and the wonder that the universe offers, and that our hearts are capable of holding it all. It requires vulnerability, courage, and a willingness to let go of resistance, but it rewards us with a richness that cannot be captured in words. Every unexpected smile, every moment of connection, every sudden revelation becomes a treasure when we are willing to meet it without hesitation, without doubt, and without fear. To live this way is to allow life to transform you from the inside out. It is to move through existence with a heightened awareness, a trembling excitement, and a fierce commitment to experience everything fully. By choosing to receive, we embrace the unexpected as a teacher, a guide, and a companion. We become attuned to the secret language of the universe, sensitive to the gifts that arrive unannounced, and willing to let them shape, refine, and elevate the deepest parts of our being. In that choice lies the ultimate liberation, the courage to live without regret, to feel without restraint, and to honor the sacredness of every unplanned, miraculous moment. And so, as I stand here, I realize that life's greatest gifts are never planned, never expected, and often arrive when we are least prepared. But exactly when we are meant to receive them, they shake us awake, stir our deepest desires, and remind us that we are alive in ways we may have forgotten. Every unexpected moment, every sudden spark, every uninvited joy carries a message. Open your heart, surrender to the unknown, and let life move through you. May we all have the courage to embrace the unexpected, to feel without fear, and to live without restraint. May we honor the trembling moments that awaken us, the surprises that transform us, and the gifts that leave us forever changed. Let us step forward with hearts wide open, ready to receive life in its wild, mysterious, and magnificent entirety. Thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you today. Thank you for opening your hearts and giving yourself permission to feel, to awaken, and to be fully alive. May every unexpected gift you encounter remind you of the immense beauty, power, and possibility that resides within you. Goodbye for now, and may your life be filled with the kind of moments that take your breath away, stir your soul, and remind you that you are, and always will be, alive in the most extraordinary way.